Good morning, students. Today we have to discuss the new chapter number 4, that is the magnetic effects of current. Magnetic effects of current. And before knowing all about that, what is that magnetic effect or magnetic field? What is that magnetic field? Let us consider now. Suppose if you keep one charge at rest, so automatically it will produce the electric field. And if any other charge will be kept here, that is plus q charge is kept here, so the force will be exerted on that plus q charge, and that force is due to the electric field. That force is due to the electric field, you know it, and that force equal to F equal to E into Q. That is the electric field force due to the electric field. Electric force due to the electric field. Again also, if you take a charge lamina, that is charge is distributed uniformly, and if you keep the charge, another charge plus q here, you can get the force. That is also electric force due to the electric field. One example I would like to tell you here now. That example is that suppose a current carrying conductor, the current is flowing through this conductor, I current is flowing, and if you keep a charge here only, that is I am keeping the plus q charge, what happens to that plus q charge? What happens to the plus q charge? You must be expecting that plus q charge will be attracted towards the current carrying conductor. No. At the volume of this conductor, if you think about, the total number of positive charge and total number of negative charges will be the same, and a current carrying conductor is not a charged one. It is not a charged one. As it is not a charged one, undoubtedly it is not producing electric field, and as it is not producing the electric field, that plus q charge, if you are keeping any other point charge here, that will not be affected by the current carrying conductor placed near it. That means no electric field is created. That is, no electric field is created here, and due to that reason plus q charge is not attracted or repelled by the current carrying conductor. Clear? Second thing, if you just project the plus q charge in the direction of the current, suppose the current is moving in this direction, if you project the charge to move in this direction, if you are giving the motion to the charge along the direction of the current, what happens to that plus q charge? And immediately you will be finding that plus q charge will be attracted toward the current carrying conductor. Here in this direction the charge will be attracted. Means the force will be exerted on the plus q charge. The important thing is that whenever the charge is moving and it is kept near the current carrying conductor, and you are finding the force is exerted on the plus q charge. It is not the electric, due to the electric field, because electric field is not created, and that force cannot be told as the electric force. And for one type of force, means you are getting one type of force which is acting on that plus q charge, and whenever this plus q charge is moving, it's projected in the direction of the current carrying conductor, the force is acting on that charge, point charge, and that force which is exerted is called the magnetic force, and means the magnetic field is created around a current carrying conductor. So around a current carrying conductor, magnetic field is created, and due to this magnetic field, the force is acting on the charged particle. The important thing is that magnetic force doesn't act on charge at rest. It always acts on the charge whenever it is in motion. The magnetic force doesn't act the charge on rest. And here in this chapter we will be discussing what about the magnetic field and magnetic force, and how the magnetic field is created due to the current carrying conductor. In two phases we will be finding the magnetic force and magnetic field. And here we will be discussing that magnetic effects of current, force on a moving charge placed in a magnetic field. Force on a moving charge placed in a magnetic field. And here the magnetic field, whatever the magnetic field you are finding here, that magnetic field is denoted as B vector. That magnetic field is denoted as B vector. This is the magnetic field. Magnetic field or magnetic field strength. Field strength, we can tell it as. And the unit of this field equal to Tesla. The SI unit is Tesla, and CGS unit is Gauss. The SI unit is Tesla and CGS unit is Gauss. This magnetic field. And now we will discuss what will how much amount of force, what is the expression for the force acting on a moving charge placed in a magnetic field. Now, just suppose magnetic field is directed along x-axis, and here the charge q is moving with velocity v, making an angle theta with the magnetic field. Means the charge is moving in xz plane. The charge is moving in xz plane, and we already have observed that the magnetic force is acting on a charge which is moving. So that charge is moving with velocity v, and it is observed that the magnetic force whichever is acting on the plus q charge is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge. That Fm is directly proportional to the magnitude of charge q, and that V is resolved into two rectangular components because of it is making angle theta, and this will be the V cos theta component, and this will be the V sin theta component, and that the magnetic force is directly proportional to the perpendicular component of the velocity of the charged particle. Perpendicular component means V cos theta, V sin theta, and it is directly proportional to the V sin theta perpendicular component of the velocity of the charged particle. And that magnetic force is directly proportional to the field strength, magnetic field strength, that is B, capital B. So it is depending on these three, that is Q, V sin theta, B. If you are combining all this, you are finding magnetic force equal to K, Q, V sin theta. As K equal to 1, you are finding Fm equal to Q, V sin theta. And Fm equal to, you are finding Fm equal to Q, V sin theta. And if we express it in a vector form, the magnetic force will be equal to Q into V cross B vector. Fm equal to Q into V cross B vector. Means if you just follow the rules of vector the cross product from whenever the V and B is here, and if you turn the right hand rule here from V to B, the direction along which the thumb indicates the direction of the force. Means the direction of the magnetic force will be along y-axis. The direction of force will be along y-axis. Means that magnetic force is perpendicular to the velocity of the charged particle, motion of the charged particle, and it is also perpendicular to the magnetic direction of magnetic field. So you are finding Fm equal to Q into V cross B. And if you are finding the another terms, if you take it here now, if theta, because of it depends upon the theta. So number one, if theta equals 0 degree or 180 degree, what will be the condition? If the charged particle is moving in the direction of the magnetic field or opposite to that of the magnetic field. In the direction of the magnetic field or opposite to the magnetic field, whenever theta equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, so sin theta will be 0, sin theta will be 0, and the magnetic force Fm will be 0. Means no force acts on the particle whenever charged particle whenever it is moving in the direction of the magnetic field or opposite to that of the magnetic field. Number two, and you know from the definition of the magnetic field, if Q magnitude equal to 0, if V equal to 0, if you take the V equal to 0, means the Q at rest, also force Fm equal to 0. If the charged particle will be at rest, no magnetic force acts on it. And number third cases, if theta equal to 90 degree, what will happen to these cases? Theta equal to 90 degree means to tell that the charged particle is moving perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. What happens in these cases? In this case, what will happen? Fm will be equal to, what will be the magnetic force? Because our theta 90 degree, sin theta is maximum, Fm equal to QVV, and that is the maximum. That is the maximum. The maximum force acts on the charged particle when it is moving perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. So whenever the charged particle is moving perpendicular, maximum force is acting on it. So in this case, easily you can find the direction of the force. So automatically you know that force is perpendicular to that of the plane containing v vector and b vector. V vector and b vector, if they are lying on the xz plane, then f vector will be perpendicular to the plane. That means perpendicular to that of the along the y-axis, perpendicular. It will be the two conditions, either positive y-axis or negative y-axis. So in that case, we can find the direction of the magnetic force by Fleming's left-hand rule. What the Fleming's left-hand rule tells? You will be deciding by Fleming's left-hand rule. Fleming's left-hand rule. If you find the Fleming's left-hand rule, Fleming's left-hand rule.